ice gave way on which I was standing. Well, Tenzing, who was following, had the rope tight in a very short time and pulled me up, so I didn't go very far.
For centuries, it stood as the ultimate challenge, the highest point on Earth. A frozen, unforgiving giant known as Mount Everest. Many had tried to reach its summit. Many had failed. But in 1953, the world was about to witness a story of incredible perseverance and triumph. This is the story of the first people to stand on top of the world and how they became global heroes. Our story begins with the 1953 British Everest expedition, led by Colonel John Hunt. It was a large, meticulously planned team effort, but the final glory would come down to two men. The first was Tenzing Norgay, a Nepali Indian Sherpa. He was a veteran of Everest, having reached incredible heights on previous attempts. He knew the mountain's every mood and danger. His partner was Edmund Hillary, a beekeeper from New Zealand, known for his strength, calmness, and determination. They were the expedition's second and final assault pair, chosen for their perfect synergy. On the evening of May 28, 1953, Hillary and Tenzing established a high camp at over 8,500 meters. They were terrifyingly exposed, using supplemental oxygen just to survive the night at that altitude. The next morning, on the 29th of May, they began their final push. Their climb was a series of brutal obstacles. They navigated a treacherous ridge, battling extreme cold and thin air. Then they faced what seemed like an impassable barrier, a 12-meter vertical rock face. This would later become the most famous section of the climb, known as the Hillary Step. With a mix of skill and sheer force, Hillary managed to wedge himself up between the rock and the ice, creating a way for Tenzing to follow. And then, the terrain eased. At 11:30 in the morning, with the world spread out beneath them, there was nowhere left to climb. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay stood together on the summit of Everest. They achieved what was once thought impossible. Hillary took a famous photograph of Tenzing, and they buried sweets and a cross in the snow as offerings. They were the first, and for a brief glorious moment, they were alone at the top of the world. The news, however, took time to travel. The expedition had to descend safely and get a message out. The announcement was strategically released in London on the morning of June 2, 1953, the coronation day of Queen Elizabeth II. The British public, already celebrating, received this incredible news as a double gift. It was seen as a glorious national achievement, a symbol of post-war hope and resilience. The world went wild. Hillary and Hunt were knighted by the young Queen. Tenzing, not a British subject, received the George Medal. But their reception went far beyond medals and titles. They were instant global celebrities, hailed as heroes in an age before instant media. But why were they such powerful heroes? It wasn't just that they climbed a mountain, it was how they did it. They represented a perfect partnership, the expert local knowledge of Tenzing and the determined spirit of the Commonwealth explorer, Hillary. They were humble, they were brave, and their success was a clean, brilliant moment of human achievement in a world often defined by conflict. They showed that with teamwork, courage, and respect, humanity could overcome the greatest of obstacles. They didn't just conquer a mountain, they inspired generations to dream bigger, to push further, and to believe that no peak is too high to climb.
He was an incredible man, and he was an amazing father.
The true joy came to him after climbing Everest was giving back to the people that lived in the Himalayas.